Share with you my top 5 items from Wet n Wild's new limited edition Goth-o-Graphic Collection. Now this is for spring 2018, so it's a seasonal display, and usually with Wet n Wild seasonal displays there is always just a few items per category per color. The Goth collection is the brand's take on the mermaid unicorn trend, so with the bold bright colors, but they added black packaging and they added a skull, which really kind of turns it into some Halloween theme, but you know, that's Wet n Wild. That's their take on it. I knew just from prior experience from using some of Wet n Wild's items, I knew from the display what I was not going to pick up. So when I see a display, and because it was so brand new, I want to leave those items there for people that really want to try out those items instead of just, you know, grabbing it for a video. If you do follow me on Instagram, the swatches are the same because I already made a very short video for Instagram. So that is what I'm going to insert and show for you. And then I'm going to tell you how I feel about it after each swatch. First, I want to start off with the highlighter, the Megaglo loose highlighting powder in the shade Moon Tears. I expected this to be like some holographic, well, unicorn mermaid shade. That's what I thought it would be. But it turns out to be a beautiful, like champagne gold shade. It's gorgeous. If you're not a fan of loose highlighters, this is probably going to be absolutely annoying to you, for the simple fact is the packaging is quite messy. I don't mind, but it is a disclaimer I want you to know. I'm going to try my best not to spill, so we'll just go boop, like that. The design of the sifter is a skull. That alone got me. It got me. I can't help it. It's also very affordable. I think this was $6. If you are not a fan of highlighters in a loose format, so I'm just going to give you a tip as far as how I like to do it. So if you can work from the cap, work from that. There tends to be some leftover residue inside. So what I do is I take my brush and I will wet my brush first, just spray it. And then I will take the brush and just on the high points of the cheeks, I actually will go right on my cheeks. So I just get my cheeks kind of wet a little bit. Then there's not so much wetness on the brush because it's already on my cheeks. Then I take the brush, I dip in, kind of, you know, swirl it in, and then put it on. That is going to help the powder not fly everywhere and kind of keep it focused. And the brush is already a little wet. It's got the powder, and then it goes straight onto that area of your cheekbone that is also wet. So it's, you know, wet and wet meshing together like a magnet. Now on to the liquid Catsuit liquid eyeshadows. First up, I'm going to show you the swatches, and then I'm going to tell you my overall thoughts. I was going to pick up some from ColourPop, but you know what? The reviews are so polarizing with the ColourPop ones. They're good, or well, I would say the majority of what I have seen is a lot of users are having issues with it just flaking off. So it dries, cracks, and just flakes off. So it's kind of hit and miss. And because I can't return it if I'm not pleased with it, I'm just like, If you also have hooded eyes like I do, you're going to find that you now have a liquid eyeshadow, a glitter liquid eyeshadow that is going to be your friend. We now finally have one. This is probably why it impressed me at first initial application. No glitter glue at all when I did the swatches for all 4 of them for my Instagram video. No glitter glue, and I usually always have to, well, not usually, every time I am working with metallic or glitter, I always have to use some form of adhesive because it goes right into my crease. It will transfer up into my hooded eye area. This, not only, I mean, I think by the time the wand touches my skin, that's actually the first thing I can say, is you can apply this from the actual applicator itself. So instead of working, let's say with a brush, putting an actual eye brush on it and then applying it to your eyes, it's very versatile. If you feel comfortable doing it that way, you can, but just to swipe it right on from the applicator, you can do that. And I mean, right as it's touching my skin, I think it just starts to dry. It starts to adhere, but it still allows you the time to move the product. And then I look up so it can kind of go up into the crease area, and I'm expecting it to go whoop, fly right up there. And I was gonna, you know, clean it off for the video. There was no major cleanup at all. It stayed put. And I was like, nice. Okay. Once everything's all dry, once you have everything in the place that you have it, what I like to do is take some of my eyeshadow that I used either in the crease or on the side of the outer V and kind of blend it into the glitter so that it kind of, you know, meshes into it. Well, you can do that and it doesn't start to flake off. It doesn't start to flick and flake off. And that was one of the areas that I was concerned about the ColourPop liquid eyeshadows. I kept hearing that in people's reviews. But this, it flakes a little bit, but I mean, it's barely anything I was noticing. And last is, after it's completely dry, I'm going to say it's completely dry, I was able to take, I'm just going to pretend, let's just pretend this was my brush. Let's say a little bit of glitter maybe kind of got into my crease. I just flicked it right off with my brush and it just flew right off, and then you can see my eyeshadow, so it didn't ruin my eyeshadow in my crease. So, recap. It dries fast, but it allows you to move the product. It molds into your skin. It allows you to blend in powder. And once it dried, if it's up anywhere that it doesn't need to be, you can flick it off, just like dried mascara. Flicks off, and your eye look is still secure. Bravo, Wet n Wild. Bravo. You did a great job. Again, for us people with hooded eyes, this is fabulous. If you feel comfortable still using a glitter glue or some sort of a non-transferring adhesive, feel free to. You can still apply this on top, but you don't need it. You don't need it. Those are the best liquid eyeshadows so far I have found. Not at the drugstore, inexpensive. Can't get no better than that. If the liquid eyeshadows do well, like the Megaglo, like the Precious Petals, like the Crown of My Canopy highlighters, if these do well, sell well, and we start bugging the brand, hopefully they move those into the permanent displays, and hopefully they make more shades, because those are going to rival ColourPops. Those are going to rival the more expensive brands. Those are definitely worth the money. So I hope this was helpful for you. Just wanted to share my experience, share, I would say, the 5 favorite items, the top items from Wet n Wild's new Goth-o-Graphic Collection. Thank you very much for your feedback. Thank you very much for your support and stopping by, as always, to come spend a little bit of time with me. Have a wonderful day or evening, and as always, I'm going to see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.